الحمد لله وكفى وسلام على عباده الذين اصطفى أما بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم هل أتى على الإنسان حين من الدهر لم يكن شيئا مذكورا إنا خلقنا الإنسان من نطفة أمشاج نبتليه فجعلناه سميعا بصيرا إنا هديناه السبيل إما شاكرا وإما كفورا سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم اللهم صل على سيدنا وحبيبنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا وحبيبنا محمد وبارك وسلم Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says in Surah Insan, بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم هل أتى على الإنسان حين من الدهر لم يكن شيئا مذكورا. That hasn't there come a time upon humankind that he was nothing even worthy to be mentioned. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that there was a time in human history and in everybody's life that human being was not even something that he should be even mentioned. So there was a time when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decided to create all of the human beings, the souls, the ruhs. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gathered everybody together and took an oath from them. Alastu bi rabbikum, that am I not your Lord? And everybody, all the human souls together in one voice said, Bala, indeed Ya Allah, you are our Lord. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent everybody in this dunya at their appointed time, one by one, into the wombs of their mothers. So when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created the flesh in the womb of the mothers of the baby, then a time came that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala inspired that ruh that He created long time ago into the womb, into that baby, in the wombs of the mothers. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that, remember, this is what you were, this is what your reality is. That you, at one stage of your life, was something that you didn't even want to think about that. Today you feel that you're so strong, that you are so powerful, that you can do everything. There was a time that there was nothing that you could do. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, إِنَّا خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ مِن نُطْفَةٍ أَمْشَاجٍ, that I created the human being from a fluid. فَجَعَلْنَاهُ سَمِيعًا بَصِيرًا, and then I was the one who gave him the hearing and the sight. There are people, there are babies who are born who can't see, who cannot see. There are babies who are born who cannot hear. There are babies who are born who do not have intellect. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't give the babies a few of their qualities, then what can a person do? What can a human being do? So we have to recognize that all of these things that we have been given are the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, إِنَّا هَدَيْنَاهُ السَّبِيلَ, that I showed them the path, the right path. إِمَّا شَاكِرًا وَإِمَّا كَفُورًا. Now it's up to the human beings, what do they want to do? They want to be grateful or they want to be ungrateful to Allah for all the blessings that they have been given. So this is the reality of the human being. At another place Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, إِنَّا خَلَقْنَاهُمْ مِنْ طِينٍ لَازِبٍ, that I created human being from dust. So all of us, the bodies that we have been given, they have been created from dust. And they have been created from dirty fluid. And this is the reality of a human being. And this is something that we all need to keep in our mind. This is our reality. And our mashayikh say that this dust that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala the dust that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created us from, that has a lot of qualities. That has a lot of qualities. It's better than fire. Shaitan, when he was asked to do sajda to Sayyidina Adam alayhi salam, he thought that fire was better. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Usjudu li Adam, to do sajda to Adam alayhi salam, what did he say? Say, no, he didn't do it. And when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked him, why didn't you do it? He said, Ana khayrun minhu, that I'm better than him. Why? خَلَقْتَنِي مِن نَارٍ وَخَلَقْتَهُ مِن طِينٍ, that you created me from fire, you created him from dust, so fire is better than dust, so I should not do sajda to him. That's what his logic. He didn't think about, this is Allah's order, I should be doing it. Rather, he started thinking. But our mashayikh say that that fire is better than dust. I'm sorry, the dust is better than fire. Why? Because fire, the quality of fire is that it burns everything. It doesn't even think who is good, who is bad. So for example, if a house catches fire, it burns every single thing in that house. Don't think that it is a good thing, it is a bad thing. It is something that's beneficial, it's something that's harmful. Don't think like that. It just takes everything in its, whatever comes in its domain, and just burns everything. But dust doesn't do that. What this dust gives us is good things. It gives us flowers, it gives us fruits, it gives us vegetables, it gives us all the good things. The animals, they eat from what is grown in the dust, and then we eat the animals. The cotton, all the things that we wear, they all come from dust. It gives us all the good things. Another thing, that the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can possibly live without fire, but it cannot live without dust. For example, look at the cows, the goats. They don't need fire. Why would they need fire? All what they eat is plants, vegetables. It has nothing to do with fire. But if there was no dust, then none of the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala could survive. All of us need that. We need fire to cook, but the things that we cook on fire are also things that are created from dust. The reason for that is that our reality is dust. And there is a principle in our deen. That is كُلُّ شَيْءٍ يَرْجِعُ إِلَى أَصْلِهِ, that everything returns to its reality, to its asal. That's a deen, that's a principle. And that's why the human being that is made up of the soul and the ruh that is within us. When people die, the ruh, it goes back to its reality, where it has come from, which is the alim arwah, which is the universe of the soul. Okay? And the body, where do they go? In the dust. So everything, it goes back to its reality. What our mashayikh say is that if we want to be true human beings, what we need to do is that that we should make sure that before that these things that we have been given, the blessings that we have been given, before they are forced to go to its reality, then we should do an effort to bring that into its reality, to bring these things into their realities. So we should try to make sure that our bodies bring that quality of a dust. And our ruh, we should do thumma dhikr on our ruh, is that they also go and visit its actual universe and gets enlightened with the light of that universe and comes back within our bodies after getting the polish. We have to do it during our lifetime. This is what excuse me. Can you get me a glass of water? So this is what we all need to do. We should try to bring in the qualities of the dust. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala showed the human beings that, that the bodies has to go back to dust. In the Quran, when the sons of Sayyidina Adam alayhi salam, they fought with each other. One of them killed the others. And now one person is dead. He didn't know what to do with the dead body. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent down two birds. One of them killed the other, and the one that killed the other, that bird dug the ground and put the other bird into the ground and covered that up. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned that in the Quran. And now the brother, he was thinking, he said, Ya waylata a'jaztu an akuna mithla hadha al-Quran. Oh, I wish that I would have been like this bird. I'm not even like this bird who is thinking so intelligently that this body that we have is from the dust and it has to go back into the dust. So what sort of qualities does a dust have? So our Mashayikh have said that it has 4 qualities. Quality number 1 is that the dust, it covers things up. So when we put seed in the soil, we cover that up, and then it brings us the fruit and the plants and the vegetables. So this is a quality of the dust, that it covers things up. So our Mashayikh say that this is a beautiful quality, and this is the quality that we all need to develop it in ourselves as well. And this is the quality of a believer, of a true human being. What does it mean? It means that if you see some wrong things in other people, cover that fault up. Don't take it out to the people. Don't start telling everybody, I've seen this person doing that thing on that particular day. Did you know that? Or do you know that? If you have seen somebody doing something, just cover him up. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has covered him up, why are you opening up his issues? Why are you opening up his faults? If you have to take mashwara for some reason, then of course you can go to one particular person just for the sake of mashwara, but not to just open up to everybody. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given extreme warnings for people who, number 1, try to find faults in people, and number 2, tell it to everybody. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَيْلٌ لِكُلِّ هُمَزَةٍ لُمَزَةٍ الَّذِي جَعَلَ مَالَهُ وَعَدَّدًا يَحْسَبُ أَنَّ مَالَهُ أَخْلَدًا كَلَّا لَيُنبَذَنَّ فِي الْحُطَمَةِ وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا الْحُطَمَةُ نَارُ اللَّهِ الْمُوقَدَةُ الَّتِي تَطَّلِعُ عَلَى الْأَفْئِدَةِ. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created a valley in the hellfire which is called Wail. And that Wail is for Wailul likulli humazatin lumaza, for humaza and for lumaza. Humaza is the person who tries to find faults in people, not looking into their own selves. Oh, what issues do I have? Trying to find what issues do other people have. going into the masjid and don't even know how are they praying, and then they know how is everybody praying. After the prayer comes to the brother, oh brother, do you know you didn't bend right in ruku? Your back wasn't straight. I know Imam Saab today he made 4 mistakes in his prayer. What were you doing? You were praying behind him. How did you know that he made 4 prayers? Where was your heart? Your eyes should have been at the place of the sajda, and your heart should have been connected to Allah. What were you doing? Why were you looking at Imam Saab? This is some people. This is a disease that people have. That they try to find faults in people. Oh, this person is doing this. Oh, this person is doing that. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that there is a valley in the hellfire called Wail for these people. Number 1. Number 2, people who have this bad attribute called lumaza, which is first they find out and then tell other people. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants that we cover the faults of the people. We cover up the faults of the people. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, one of his attributes is as-sattar. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is as-sattar. As-sattar means that he covers up our faults. Just imagine, we all know ourselves. The sins that we do, the disobedience of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that we do every single day of our life. When we look at the improper things, when we think that nobody is looking, but you should know Allah is looking. When we hear all of those bad things, we think that nobody knows. Allah Ta'ala knows. When we think about all of those bad things, we think that nobody knows. Allah Ta'ala knows. When we talk about people that we shouldn't be talking about, we think nobody knows. Allah Ta'ala knows. We do all of these things. Right? But still Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala hides your faults. He hides your faults. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala opens all of our faults, just imagine what would become of us. No wife will ever want to go to her husband, and no husband will ever want to go to his wife. No parents will ever want to talk to their children, and no children will ever want to talk to their parents. It's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's great attribute of being as-sattar, that He has hidden our faults. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants that we should also bring this attribute within ourselves. There's a hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He said, تَخَلَّقُوا بِإِخْلَاقِ اللَّهِ, that you make your character according to the attributes of Allah. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Ar-Rahim, you become merciful as well. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Al-Ghaffar, you also become the person who forgives people for the sake of Allah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is As-Sattar, you also hide people's faults. Don't just open it up to everybody. Just for nothing, just for gossip. Right? So this is an attribute of the dust. The dust covers things up. You also should be like the people who cover people's faults. The other attribute that the dust has is it has acceptance. It has acceptance. So if you put water on the dust, it absorbs that. It accepts that. You put anything, it accepts that. It takes it in. It's a huge quality. It's a huge quality. It's not a small quality. The problem with us today is that we do not accept things. Our nafs has become so strong that it does not want to accept things. You tell anybody some good thing, and they don't want to just take that. The ego, the nafs, the lower self, don't tell it to me. How dare you tell it? You told this to me. This is a problem within ourselves. So our nafs become so strong that we do not want to accept things. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants from all of us that we hear things and we take it in, we accept it, and we bring it into actions. And that is why one of the attributes Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given about the believers is that وَقَالُوا سَمِعْنَا وَأَطَعْنَا, that we heard and we obeyed. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran that do not be like those people who say that we hear but they don't hear. Because the hearing is obeying. Once you hear things, that means that you have to bring that into action. You have to bring that into action. Hearing is not that we are here to talk about a few things, mashallah, we enjoyed the talk, very good, have our snacks and go back home and continue living the life that we were living before. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants from all of us that we hear and we obey. The Quran that Allah ta'ala has sent, our Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam that Allah ta'ala has sent. He didn't send all of these just for if we get time ever in our life, we just open it up and just read a few ayahs of barakah and that's it. All of the Quran, there is a rules of morality. The Quran we have guidelines in the Quran for us to live our life. To live our life. So that we read each and every single verse that in the Quran and we bring it into action. That's why Quran has been given to all of us. We have to accept that. We have to absorb that within ourselves. That's what a human being is for. Otherwise, then what's the difference between us and animals? Is there any difference? You go and start reading the Quran to the cat. Possibly it will enjoy it for a few moments because the cat likes you. But it's not going to absorb anything, all the rules that are in the Quran. The Quran is for the human beings and the jinns, so that they accept it, they absorb it, they take it in. This is the quality of the dust. It absorbs things within itself. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also wants that we absorb all the rules that have been given to us in the Quran and by our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You give so many talks, mashallah. So mashallah, many of us to hear all of these talks, go to this talk and that talk and all of that. But how many of us are actually who take things in our lives? Mashallah, you give instructions to people that this is the way, this is the sunnah way of doing things. This is the way that you should drink, this is the way that you should eat, this is the way that you should talk, this is the way that you should walk, this is the way you should dress, this is the way you should look. Mashallah, everybody listens, but Allah Ta'ala just gives tawfiq to a few people. But everybody takes that in. Why is that? Because that quality of absorbing that into your hearts isn't there. Our hearts have become so hard that we have brought a seal on our hearts. It's not like dust anymore. It's like iron. You put things on an iron, it doesn't absorb anything. You put things on the soil, it absorbs everything. Our hearts have become like that iron. And that we ourselves have brought that seal on our hearts because of our actions. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also mentions that in the Quran. كَلَّا بَلْ رَانَ عَلَىٰ قُلُوبِهِمْ, that indeed they have a seal on their hearts. بِمَا كَانُوا يَكْسِبُونَ, because of what they've been doing. So we have to remove that seal. We have to bring that quality of dust within ourselves. That is, we need to become like those people who absorb everything. Whenever anything is said, take that, bring it into action. Bring it into action. Sahaba Karam radiallahu anhum, it comes about them, they would read 10 ayahs of the Quran and they will not move on until they will bring every single thing that is in those 10 ayahs of the Quran into their lives. They knew Arabic, they knew everything, they knew what's being said. Why wouldn't they move? They were not learning tajweed. was in their native language, they knew how to speak. But they were bringing every single thing that is in there into their hearts. When it was said to them, قُلْ لِلْمُؤْمِنِينَ يَغُضُّوا مِنْ أَبْصَارِهِمْ, tell the believing men lower their gaze, they would make sure that they would lower their gaze. Once, in the time of, I think, Sahaba, after the Prophet ﷺ's life, they were going to attack a city. And these people, the enemy knew that they are strong. So they made it, they had a trick. They said, okay, let the girls of the community come out and stand on the sides of the streets, and they would dance and they would play songs and all of that, and people would get absorbed in looking at these people, these girls, and they would they would forget about their purpose. So as soon as they entered the city and the leader, he realized what's happening. This is the trick that is used right now as well, right? Billboards, TVs, internet, to make us forget the purpose of our life. As soon as he saw what's happening, he said, قُلْ لِلْمُؤْمِنِينَ يَغُضُّوا مِنْ أَبْصَارِهِمْ, recited the ayah out loud. All the Sahaba, to look down. None of them were staying at anybody. They entered into the city without even looking at what's happening around them. They attacked, conquered, came back. It was in their hearts. It wasn't just mashallah, Qari Fulan and Qari Fulan, mashallah, I have CD set of Fulan Qari and Fulan Qari. You have all of these CDs and mashallah, digital recitation and this and that. But it doesn't enter our throat. It's only on our tongues. It doesn't seep into the hearts. وَالْكَاظِمِينَ الْغَيْظَ وَالْعَافِينَ عَنِ النَّاسِ. The quality of the believers. Control their anger. Forgive people for the sake of Allah. Today, little thing happened, and subhanallah, they don't even behave like human beings anymore. Where are those eyes? What's happening with us? So this is a quality of the dust, that it absorbs everything. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also wants from us that we bring in that quality of the dust, that we are also absorbing every single thing that's told to us. This is the quality of the people of the paradise. الَّذِينَ يَسْتَمِعُونَ الْقَوْلَ وَيَتَّبِعُونَ أَحْسَنَهُ. So these are the people who listen and they follow it in a good manner. And one of the things that also come with this is that our knowledge is light. Al-ilmu nurun. Knowledge is light. And knowledge doesn't come through books. It comes through the hearts of the people. And that is the reason Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has in many places has always emphasized on listening and obeying. Listening and obeying. Listening and obeying. It's not about reading and obeying. Some people say, what's the need of the ulama? What's the need of the scholars? What is the need of mashayikh? You have to go and sit in the company of the live people in order to absorb all of that. So we should make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that, Ya Allah, make us from those people who are able to listen and to obey, and to accept and to absorb. Because our nafs, the seal of our hearts, is so strong that it doesn't let things absorb into our hearts. And the problem is we just want to justify everything. Why don't you do that? Oh, because of this and this. Why don't you do this? Because of this and this. Nobody is willing to come up and say, you are right, I'm weak, I should be doing it, but I'm not able to do it until now. I'm working on it. Inshallah, make dua that I'll do it. And he also works on it. At least have this thing. Don't justify your actions. Never say, I'm doing this because of this. This is step number one. And once you have step number one, that you accept your fault, and you tell yourself that this is an issue within you, and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for tawfiq, inshallah, a time will come that you will be able to take that, absorb that within you as well. But bring in that quality of absorbing things within you. The third quality that our Mashaykh have said that the dust has is that when things are put into it, it helps it grow. It helps it grow. You put a seed, it breaks, and a plant comes out of it. It grows from the dust. You put a seed in any other thing, it will not grow. It only grows in the dust. When we were kids, we used to eat watermelon, and we'd also eat seeds, and our parents would joke, the little tree is going to come out of your stomach. But it won't, it'll never come. Why? There's no dust. You should also eat dust, and then drink water. Right, Abdullah? But this is the quality of the dust. That it helps things grow. Just like the dust helps things grow, human beings, number one, they should accept, bring it into actions, put it into your own life, and then help it grow. Be people of goodness. Be people of Amr bil Ma'ruf wa Nahy anil Munkar. Forbid the evil. Expand the goodness. That's what people of Tabligh are doing. They go out, mashallah. They remind people. That's what the Mashaykh are doing. Mashaykh go out. People come to Mashaykh. They tell people to do good things, to stop them from evil. This is the quality of a believer. This is the quality of the dust. It helps things grow. So this is what we all should be like as well. But number one, we have to bring that into our own actions. Because there is no point that we keep telling things to people and we are not even trying to do things that we should be doing. And number four quality in the dust is that it is humble. It is humble. And this is a quality that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants from all of us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants all of us to become humble people. You walk on the dust, right? People go and in the old time, now there are toilets, but in the old time people would urinate in the dust. They would relieve themselves into the dust. They would walk over it. They would ride horses. They would do everything on the dust, but what does the dust do to them? It gives them fruits. It gives them trees. It gives them plants. It gives them vegetation. It gives them everything. People do bad to it, they do good. This is the quality of the dust. That you do bad, people do bad to you, you do good to them. You become humble people. You don't have any sort of arrogance in your heart. This is what we all need to become. This is what we all need to develop within ourselves. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, this comes in the hadith, that man tawada'a lillahi rafa'ahu Allah. That whoever humbles himself down for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala raises him up. If people try to become arrogant, people feel that they are something or they are somebody, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decreases them. He never increases them. Or look into the Quran. All the people who have shown any sort of arrogance in their hearts, what became of them? Qarun, he thought that he has a lot of wealth. He thought he is a very wealthy person. He thought that this is something that he has gathered by himself. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala abased him. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made him drown into the earth. People wished, oh, that may Allah make us like Qarun as well. But when they saw him like drowning into the earth, they just thought, oh, thank God that we were not like Qarun. Look at what happened to Fir'aun. Fir'aun thought that he has the kingdom of everything. So Fir'aun, he thought that he's the king. And it comes in the books that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed him with so many blessings that he didn't even have a headache in his life. And that made him arrogant. And so much so that he used to call him that I'm the Lord. Ana rabbukum al-a'la. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made him drown into the water. Look into the other nations. Ad. وَالْفَجْرِ وَلَيَالِ الْعَشْرِ وَالشَّفْعِ وَالْوَتْرِ أَلَمْ تَرَ كَيْفَ فَعَلَ رَبُّكَ بِعَادٍ إِرَمَ ذَاتِ الْعِمَادِ التي لم يخلق مثلها في البلاد. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that I have never made a nation like Ad. But they became so arrogant. What did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala do to them? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent down winds, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made them, like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala picked them up and threw them onto the ground. So whenever people show any sort of arrogance in their hearts, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala destroys that person. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala destroys that nation. Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said that nobody can enter Jannah, into the paradise, who has iota, an atom's weight of kibr, of arrogance in their hearts. Nobody will never be even able to smell the paradise. We need to understand who we are. Our reality is dust. Our reality is dirty fluid. Our reality is the darkness of the womb. Our reality is like these babies who can't even move, who can't even talk, who can't even think, cannot do anything. This is our reality. When Allah Ta'ala gives us strength, then we think that we are something. Then we start shouting, screaming, arguing. We should realize what's our reality. Where are we coming from? Where are we going? We should bring that humbleness into our hearts. We should try to bring that quality into our hearts. We cannot survive without that. Because if we don't have that humbleness within ourselves, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will bring us down. Just look into the history. Has there been any nation who has been on the top forever? The biggest country in the world, it got destroyed into pieces. There has never ever been one nation in the history that has remained on the top for forever. It is the principle by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that whatever goes up, comes down. So if we try to bring ourselves up, Allah ta'ala will bring us down. But if we humble ourselves down for the sake of Allah, then Allah will raise us up. Allah Ta'ala will raise us up, and that rise will never fall, because that is what Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala will do by Himself. It doesn't have to happen in the lives of the people. It can happen anytime. It can happen after the death of the people. Look at all of these ulama and mashayikh that we talk about today. Subhanallah. We love them, respect them. Why is that? Because Allah Ta'ala has raised them up. Okay. So this is the core of tasawwuf. People think that, tasawwuf is something, people go to graves and, have these ta'weez and this and that. That's all rubbish. That is total bid'ahs. The true tasawwuf is that you bring yourself down, you bring the name of Allah, you rise the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in your heart. Connect yourself to Allah. Bring in total Sharia within you. Bring in total Sunnah within you. That's the tasawwuf. That's your purification. That's your becoming a human being. That you bring in the qualities of the dust within you. You bring in the qualities of the dust within you. That you cover things up. That you accept things. That you help things grow. Good things grow. And that you bring yourself down. You make yourself humble. This is all what this effort is about, and this is not a small thing. I mean, that's why all of us have issues. Every single one of us have their own issues. Why? Because our nafs is so fat that it's so hard for us to bring ourselves down, so that we are able to forgive people for the sake of Allah. How difficult it is for us to forgive people for the sake of Allah. How difficult it is for us to think lower, to think ourselves are lower than other people. You know, we go and we study like a couple of books, and we feel that everybody is ignorant and I am an alim. We go to some talks and we think we are the most pious people on the face of the earth, and everybody is a sinner. We start following one sunnah and we feel that, you know, nobody does anything and I am the best. Our mashayikh say that we should bring ourselves so down that we should even feel ourselves worse than a dog. Why? Because we don't know what's our ending. We don't know what's our ending. Do you know what's our ending? No. Allah knows. If, Allah forbid, that if because of our pride and our arrogance Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala snatches away this blessing of iman from our hearts before the time of our death, then these animals are better than us. Because what will happen on the Day of Judgment? On the Day of Judgment, these animals will be brought and they will take revenge from each other if they have oppressed anybody in this dunya, and then Allah ta'ala will cause them to become dust. And human beings, because of what they have done, they will do in this life, either they are going to the paradise or they are going to the hellfire. And that's why when the kuffar, the non-believers who have rejected faith, when they will see animals going into and becoming dust, they would say, Ya laytani. وَيَقُولُ الْكَافِرُ يَا لَيْتَنِي كُنْتُ تُرَابًا. And the kuffar, the non-believers would say, you know, I wish that I would have been dust today, because now my abode is the hellfire. So we need to make sure that we think ourselves as the lowest of the low. This is an effort that we all need to bring into ourselves. We need to work on ourselves, to bring this quality into ourselves, that is to become humble people. We have to take out all the arrogance from our hearts. We need to really search deep down into our hearts. What's our issue? What's my problem? And everybody has their problem, believe me. If you think you don't have it or I don't have it, I'm fooling myself. I have an issue. And you all have your issues. But all what we have to do is we have to really, very honestly, sincerely look into ourselves and take that out from our hearts. And if you want to hear about that how did really people humble themselves down, look into the life of Sayyidina Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu anhu. Sayyidina Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu anhu. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, radiallahu anhu. Allah is pleased with him and with all of the Sahaba. وَالثَّانِيَ اثْنَيْنِ إِذْ هُمَا فِي الْغَارِ. He is the second of the two when they were in the cave with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, about whom the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, لَا تَحْزَنْ إِنَّ اللَّهَ مَعَنَا. Don't be sad, Allah is with both of us. Allah is with both of us. When Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam got trapped, Fir'aun on one side and the sea on the other side, and the people, his ashab said, you know, inna la mudrakun, we have been trapped, what will happen to us? What did Sayyidina Musa say? Inna rabbi ma'iya sayahdeen. My Lord is with me, He will guide me. When Sayyidina Abu Bakr Siddiq and Sayyidina Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam got trapped into the cave, what did he say? La tahzan inna Allah ma'ana. Don't worry, Allah is with both of us. This is his maqam. This is his station. He is this, by ijma' of this ummah, that he is the best person of this ummah after Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is the ijma' of the ummah. So deviant people, whatever they want to say, they can say. We don't even care about those people. But the rightly guided ummah, this is ijma' that he is the best person after Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And when he was looking into his own son, he said, oh, I wish that I was a blade of a grass. I wish that my mother had never given birth to me. This was his state. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to say, "Man arada an yanzura ila mayyitin yamshi ala wajhi al-ardi, falyanzur ila ibni Abi Quhafa." That if you want to see that a walking dead body on the face of the earth, look at the son of Abu Quhafa, Sayyidina Abu Bakr. This is how he crushed himself. This is how he humbled himself. He never thought that he is better than anybody. He never thought that he is better than anybody. SubhanAllah. He is on Ahad with Sayyidina Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and the earth started shaking. Earth started shaking. Sayyidina Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, don't you know who is on you? You have a Siddiq on you. You have the most truthful person on you. In his lifetime, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam made him the Imam. This is Sayyidina Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu anhu. And this is his state of the heart. Sayyidina Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu anhu. You all know what Sayyidina Umar. Sayyidina Umar, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam would take mashwara from him, and his opinion would match the revelation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would send down the ayat, and his opinion would match what would come from Allah. Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said that لَوْ كَانَ بَعْدِي نَبِيًّا لَكَانَ عُمَرٍ. That if there was a prophet after me, it would have been Umar. Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, الْحَقُّ يَنْطَلِقُ عَلَى لِسَانِ عُمَرٍ. The truth, it flows from the tongue of Umar radiallahu anhu. Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said that the path where Umar goes, shaitan leaves that path. This is Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anhu. Right. He's writing a letter to the river of Nile. You know, the Nile didn't used to flow. And the culture of that nation was that they would sacrifice, they would kill a young girl and would throw the blood of that young girl into the Nile, and it would start flowing after that. Shaitan. Sayyidina Umar wrote a letter to Nile. If you flow with the order of Allah, I ordered you that you flow. And they threw that letter into the Nile, and it started flowing, and it never stopped flowing after that. It never stopped flowing after that. This is Sayyidina Umar. Sayyidina Umar is sitting in Masjid of the Prophet ﷺ in his time of Caliphate, and he is sending his troops into the battlefield, and he sees, Allah Ta'ala shows him that, you know, that Sayyidina Sariya radiallahu anhu was on a mountain, he's guarding his army, he's guiding his army, and the enemy comes from the other side of the mountain. Allah Ta'ala showed him. And from there he said, Ya Sariya al-Jabal. Sariya, look at the other side of the mountain. And Sayyidina Sariya looked at the other side of the mountain and sees the army, and he attacks and he conquers them. Thousands of miles away. This is Sayyidina Umar. Fire came into Medina Munawwara. Sayyidina Umar said to one of the Sahabi, take this on my cloak, and just push this fire away from the Medina Munawwara. And this Sahabi, is like guiding the fire as if it's an animal. This is Sayyidina Umar. Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anhu, this is his maqam, this is his station. And Sayyidina Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he told the names of some hypocrites to Sayyidina Hanzala radiallahu anhu. He said, these are the names of the hypocrites. And Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anhu, he comes to Sayyidina Hanzala and he asks him, I know that Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam has told you that you should not be telling these names to anybody. But I have just one request. So not Sayyidina Hanzala, Sayyidina Hudayfa radiallahu anhu. He said, I have one request, Hudayfa, that I want you to tell me that if my name is on the list. I just want you to tell me if my name is in the list of the munafiqeen. This is what he was thinking about his own self. He wasn't thinking that I'm this and I'm that. This is the humbleness that these people had brought into their hearts. That's why Allah Ta'ala has raised them up to the maqam, to the station that they got. Sayyidina Ali radiallahu anhu. Somebody asked him, somebody came into the town, didn't know who he was. He said, who are you? He said, مَا أَنَا إِلَّا رَجُلٌ مِّنَ الْمُسْلِمِينَ. I'm just a common man from the Muslims. He didn't tell me, don't you know who I am? I'm son-in-law of the best of the creation. Don't you know I'm Babul Ilm? I'm the door of knowledge. Don't you know that I was the one who conquered Khaybar? I'm just a common Muslim. And today we haven't even done things, and you're telling the whole world what we plan to do. So we have to become like dust. We have to humble ourselves. Because this lust that we all have, it inflates by itself. We have to puncture it. We have to tell ourselves that who we are, what's our reality. And we also have to bring in all the other qualities of the dust as well, so that we can accept all what's in the Quran, and in the Hadith, and in the Sunnah, and in our deen, and in our Sharia, so that we become those people that's required of us. Just saying, Umar radiallahu anhu, once he gathered all the Sahaba around him, and when everybody was gathered, he said, Umar, don't you know who you are? You are the same whose mother used to eat dried meat. And then he asked the Sahaba and the Tabi'een who were with him, go. And some people got amazed, this is why you gathered all of us here together. He said, yes. He said, you know what? When all of these people started coming back from different places, and I saw that, all of these countries are getting conquered. So my nafs told to myself, Umar, what a great man you are. That Allah Ta'ala is opening up all of these victories at your hands. So I wanted to tell my nafs that this is your reality. This is your reality. What do you think who you are? This is Allah who is giving all of these blessings to you. It's nothing that you have earned by yourself. I used to tell myself that this is what your reality is. I often have told this incident. There was a king, Mahmud, and his slave called Ayaz. It's a very famous quote-unquote couple. Ayaz was very beloved to Mahmud Ghaznavi, rahmatullah alayhi. And all of the ministers and all of the other slaves around him were very jealous of Ayaz. And they would see that Ayaz has a closet, and he would open his closet every single day and look at what's inside and close it and would lock the closet. So some of the people who got jealous, they thought that Ayaz is stealing things from the palace, and he puts it into the closet and closes it every day. So they complained to the king. They said, this is what Ayaz is doing, why don't you go and look at his closet? So Ayaz called everybody up and also called Ayaz. And he told Ayaz, give me your keys of your closet. And he sent somebody and said, go and look into the closet, what's inside. So he went and he opened the closet and brought a pair of clothes and a pair of shoes. All torn, not even new. So he said, this is all what was in the closet. He said, yes. He asked Ayaz, why do you look at it every single day? He said, king, oh my master, when I came into your presence, this is all what I had. And now that you have given me all of what you have given me, the food that I eat, and the clothes that I wear, and the shoes that I wear, I do not want to forget my reality. This is my reality. And we also need to realize our reality. Our reality is that we came into this dunya without any strength, without any clothes, without anything, that we had no intellect. And today, if Allah Ta'ala has given us money, if Allah Ta'ala has given us clothes, if Allah Ta'ala has given us intellect, if Allah Ta'ala has given us some sort of power, it doesn't mean that we have acquired any of these by our own selves. These are all blessings of Allah. And Allah Ta'ala, who has given these blessings, has all the power to take each and every single one of them away. Each and every single one. People become bad. People become poor. I've seen with my own eyes millionaires, billionaires, really from riches to rags. I've seen with my own eyes. It happens in this dunya. They are not like fairy tales. So we have to bring ourselves down. We have to still time that we should work on ourselves. We should really give our hands in the hands of some murabbi, some mashayikh, who have worked on their own selves, and their teachers have given them permission to develop other people, so that we can find out about the issues of our nafs, so that we can develop ourselves before we die. And we should also learn about the pious predecessors that we had. Sahaba, of course, but then often our nafs is, they were Sahaba. This is another, it's a deception that our nafs plays with us. They were Sahaba. They were around the Prophet ﷺ. Look at the people who were around us. Not much time has passed. There are people who live in this time and age, who have crushed their nafs, literally. Who crushed their nafs. And Maulana Khair Muhammad Jalandhari Rahmatullah alayh, he was Shaykh al-Hadith, and once he was giving the dars of Hadith in the madrasa, and suddenly when he was teaching, he couldn't, he was teaching that for years. But suddenly it happens when you teach, sometimes it happens that something that you have been teaching, you forget about that thing. So he reached a point where he couldn't understand what does that thing mean. She started reading the Hashia and everything, but he couldn't understand. So he wasn't ashamed. His nafs was so crushed. If it was me, I would have possibly made it up and I'll tell it next time. No, but he was so sincere. He wasn't ashamed in front of his students. He said, what, I'm not able to understand it right now. Let me go and find it from another teacher. So that teacher that he said that he's going to find it out from, he was his student. He had graduated under his, he was his teacher. So while he was going to him, some of the students, they ran to the other teacher and said, what, Ustad Sahib is coming, he wants to ask you a particular thing. They all knew adab. Today we have forgotten everything about adab. They all knew how to do adab of the teacher, how to do adab of the shaykh, how to do adab of everybody who is supposed to get the adab. So he read and he said to him, Ustad Sahib is coming, he wants to ask you a particular masala. So get ready. So he was in his room, he came out and the teacher was coming, he met him in the corridor. He said, you want, I've been told that you want me. He said, yes, I want to know, what does it mean? SubhanAllah, look at this teacher, going to his own student, who has taught once, and asking him, can you tell me what does it mean? No nafs involved at all. No arrogance, no ujab, no takabbur, nothing. And now this student, just think about him, his nafs could have come and said, my teacher has come to me, I've become such a great alim now. He said, oh my dear teacher, when you were teaching me this particular hadith, the way that you taught me was this. The way that you taught me was this, and this is how you explained to me. And then he explained everything to him. So he gave all the credit to his teacher. And today, subhanAllah, we learn everything from our teachers and our mashayikh, and we go out in the public and talk, and as if, we have become the alamas. I always tell it to my students, I only do naqal. I try to use my aqal, but all that I do is naqal. That's why I have these books in front of me. I have nothing, I cannot come up with anything of my own. I'm jahil. All what has been given to us is through our teachers, our mashayikh. All what I say here is, what I have learned from our mashayikh. And today we speak and we don't even talk about our teachers and our mashayikh even once. This is how we should be like. So there should be no nafs involved at all. We have to crush our nafs. We have to make sure that we humble ourselves down for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I'll end up with a story. Sayyidina Abdullah bin Mubarak rahmatullah alayh was one of the biggest ulama of his time, or alim of his time. In one of his dars, there would be hundreds of thousands of ulama. Hundreds of thousands of ulama in one of his dars. Such a great alim, imagine in those times there was no sound system. And the way that we have mukabbars, that in we go to haram, right, there's a person, the imam sahib, he says Allahu Akbar, there's a mukabbir who says Allahu Akbar behind him. So there will be mukabbars in his dars. So a person, if he's teaching, and a person down, like maybe a few aisles down, few rows down, would repeat what he is saying, and then a person few rows down would repeat what the second person would be saying. So this is how he gives his dars. And he is, of course, an accepted man. When he was on his deathbed, suddenly he was cautious, unconscious, coming up and down, like his state was changing. And suddenly he came into consciousness, and his students were around, his sons were around. And he said to his students and to his sons, put me on the ground. Just imagine, big sheikh, one of the biggest sheikh of his time. And they screamed, they started crying. What are you saying? He said, put me on the ground. Of course, order is order. So they took him and put him on the ground. And he took the dust from the ground and started rubbing on his face. And said, Ya Allah, it's time to go back to you. Please have mercy on the old age of Abdullah. Ya Allah, please have mercy on the old age of the white hair of Abdullah. He never said, Ya Allah, I taught hadith to hundreds and thousands of people. I served your deen all my life. I did this, I did that. All what he said was, Ya Allah, have mercy on me. Because at the end of the day, whatever you do, it's the tawfiq of Allah. Everything is a blessing of Allah. We are just like laborers who are using the blessings of Allah and and working based on that. The knowledge that we have, the wealth that we have, the honor that we have, the houses that we have, the cars that we have, the health that we have. Just name a thing, anything that we have is from Allah. So if we are allowed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to serve the deen of Allah, it's also from Allah. So he didn't claim that, Ya Allah, I did so much, because we don't know if it's all accepted by Allah or not. He said, Ya Allah, have mercy on my old age. This is what we need to become, my friends. Become people with the qualities of a dust. Become people who are able to cover things up for. Don't find faults in people. Hide things. Don't backbite. Think about your own self. Accept all what is given to you by Allah and His Messenger. When will the time come that we'll start putting this into our lives? After our deaths? That will be too late. Just give out, help things, good things grow. That's the quality of a dust. And become humble, like dust. It's a couplet in Punjabi. Anyway, the translation is something like that you become like the plant of a bear. You know what is bear? A small little, what do you call it in English? It's a fruit, a small little fruit. Berries. So you become like a plant of a berry. The people come and they throw stones and they hit you with sticks, but all what you do is give out fruits to them. People come and throw stones and hit you with sticks, but all what you do is give them fruits. So this is what we should try to develop within ourselves. Ya Allah Ta'ala give us all of His tawfiq, that we be able to bring all of these qualities of the dust within our own selves. Wa akhiru da'wana and alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. दिता मुर्शिद सबक पढ़ा फकीरा, मिट मिट के मिट जा। दिता मुर्शिद सबक पढ़ा फकीरा, मिट मिट के मिट जा। इस मिटने नू समझ न मिटना, इस तो भी मिट जा फकीरा, मिट मिट के मिट जा। जे तू समझया मैं हाँ मिटया, अजे भी नहीं तू मिटया। राह ते बेती राह विच नू पुच्छा करके लुटिया। छिट्टा पै गईया दुध विच तेरे, दुध तेरा ए फिटिया। अजे भी मुल ए दर मुर्शिद दे, आके ठीक करा फकीरा, मिट मिट के मिट जा। तू बन मिसल कुबेर दा बूटा, लोकी चढ़ चढ़ लेवन झूठा। इट्टे रोड़े मारन सोटा, तू तो फल लुटा फकीरा, मिट मिट के मिट जा। रात दा जागण ऐ न समझी, मिल गई है औलियाई। रात नू कुत्ते जाग जाग के पहरा देंदे भाई। ओ हिक टुकड़े बदले जागण, तू लख नेमत खाई। कुत्ते ते तो ले गए बाजी, मुँह गरीबा पा फकीरा, मिट मिट के मिट जा। मूतु कबल अंत मूतु, करना तू ए धंधा। मरे तो पहले जो है मरता, हो जाता है जिंदा। बंदगी नाल है बंदा होंदा, दिन बंदगी है गंदा। नफी बात तरड़ काला के, नफ्स नू ए समझा। फकीरा मिट मिट के मिट जा। गंद दा बोरा तन दे उत्ते, चंगे कपड़े पाके। गंद दा बोरा तन दे उत्ते, चंगे कपड़े पाके। आकड़ ते मगरूरियां दे विच, बैठो मजलिस लाके। जेकर ओ गंद बाहर आवे, लोकी मारन जुतियां चाके। जेकर ओ गंद बाहर आवे, लोकी मारन जुतियां चाके। भूलियो क्यों औकात हो अपनी, झूठी है वहाँ वहाँ। फकीरा मिट मिट के मिट जा। तन इर्शिद सबक पढ़ा, फकीरा मिट मिट के मिट जा। ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह मुहम्मद रसूलुल्लाह। सुब्हान रब्बियल अअला वहाब। अल्हम्दुलिल्लाहि रब्बिल आलमीन। अल्लाहुम्मा सल्लि अला सय्यिदिना व हबीबना मुहम्मद व अला आलि सय्यिदिना व हबीबना मुहम्मद व बारिक व सल्लिम। रब्बना ज़लमना अनफुसना व इन लम तग़फिर लना व तरहमना लनकूनन्ना मिनल ख़ासिरीन। रब्बना ज़लमना अनफुसना व इन लम तग़फिर लना व तरहमना लनकूनन्ना मिनल ख़ासिरीन। रब्बना ज़लमना अनफुसना व इन लम तग़फिर लना व तरहमना लनकूनन्ना मिनल ख़ासिरीन। रब्बना ला तुज़िग़ क़ुलूबना बअद इज़ हदैतना व हब लना मिन लदुनका रहमा इन्नका अंतल वहाब। ला इलाहा इल्ला अंता सुब्हानका इन्ना कुन्ना मिनज़ ज़ालिमीन। या मुक़ल्लिबल क़ुलूब सब्बित क़ुलूबना अला दीनिक। या मुसर्रिफ़ल क़ुलूब सर्रिफ़ क़ुलूबना अला ताअतिक। अल्लाहुम्मा हब्बिब इलैनल ईमान व ज़य्यिनहु फ़ी क़ुलूबिना व कर्रिह इलैनल कुफ़्र वल फ़ुसूक़ वल इस्यान वजअलना मिनर राशिदीन। अल्लाहुम्मा आति नुफूसना तक़वाहा व ज़क्किहा अंत खैरु मन ज़क्काहा अंत वलियुहा व मौलाहा। अल्लाहुम्मा इन्ना नस्अलुकल हुदा वत्तक़ा वल अफ़ाफ़ वल ग़िना। अल्लाहुम्मा अंसुरिल मुजाहिदीन फ़ी कुल्लि मकान। अल्लाहुम्मा अइज़्ज़िल इस्लाम वल मुस्लिमीन। अल्लाहुम्मा अइज़्ज़िल इस्लाम वल मुस्लिमीन। अल्लाहुम्मा अइज़्ज़िल इस्लाम वल मुस्लिमीन। या अरहमर राहिमीन, या अकरमल अकरमीन, या करीम, या गफ्फार, या रहीम, या वदूद, या वहाब, या सत्तार, या सत्तार, या सत्तार, या हन्नान, या मन्नान, या Allah. Ya Allah, please accept this gathering from all of us. Ya Arhamar Rahimeen, please accept this gathering from all of us. Ya Allah, please accept this gathering from all of us. Ya Allah, people who have come from far, people who have come from near. Ya Allah, men have come, women have come. Ya Allah, the small little babies have come, Ya Allah. Because of the barakah of the Ya Allah, masumiyat of these babies who have come to this gathering. Ya Allah, we request you that you accept this gathering from all of us. Ya Arhamar Rahimeen, Ya Akramul Akrameen. Ya Allah, you yourself have said, Ya Ayyuhan Nas Antumul Fuqara'u ilallah. That all people, you are beggars in front of Allah. Ya Allah, you yourself have said, إنما الصدقات للفقراء. That charity is for the beggars. Ya Allah, this group of beggars is here at your door. Ya Allah, please give us the charity of your mercy. Ya Allah, give us the charity of your love. Ya Allah, give us the charity of your mercy, Ya Arhamar Rahimeen. Give us the charity of your forgiveness, Ya Allah. Ya Arhamar Rahimeen, Ya Akramul Akrameen. Ya Allah, we are indeed very weak people, Ya Allah. You yourself have said, وَخُلِقَ الْإِنسَانُ ضَعِيفًا. Ya Allah, we are very weak. Ya Allah, we have been trying all our lives, but our nafs said, Ya Allah, still not become that obedient slave of yours that you want from us. Ya Allah, we ask you for tawfiq, Ya Arhamar Rahimeen, that you purify our filthy nafs. Ya Allah, you make it, Ya Allah, 100% obedient of you, Ya Arhamar Rahimeen. Ya Akramul Akrameen, Ya Arhamar Rahimeen. Ya Allah, before the time that we go back to you, before that we die, Ya Arhamar Rahimeen, please, Ya Allah, make us from the true believers. Ya Arhamar Rahimeen, before it's time that, Ya Allah, people come and pray on us, Ya Allah, give us the khushu in our prayers. Ya Arhamar Rahimeen, before the time, Ya Allah, that we go back to you, please be happy with us, Ya Allah. Please forgive us, Ya Allah, before that day, Ya Arhamar Rahimeen. Ya Akramul Akrameen, Ya Arhamar Rahimeen. Ya Allah, when will the time come, Ya Allah, that our dead hearts will move? Ya Allah, when will the time come that we will stand in front of you in prayers, Ya Allah, and that we will have total concentration and we will have total connection with you? Ya Allah, when will be the time come, Ya Allah, that when we will be in need of anything, then we'll just raise our hands, and Ya Allah, our du'as will be accepted. Ya Allah, we know that it's all because of our deeds. It's all because of our disobedience, Ya Allah. We have put a seal on our hearts by ourselves. Ya Allah, we beg you that you remove that seal, Ya Allah. And Ya Allah, please let the light, let the nur of your mercy penetrate into our hearts, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, please clean our filthy hearts, Ya Arhamar Rahimeen. Please purify our filthy hearts, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, please make us true believers, Ya Arhamar Rahimeen. Ya Allah, let us understand the purpose of this life, and Ya Allah, please make us from those people who you love, Ya Allah. Ya Arhamar Rahimeen, we offer no excuses for our mistakes, for our sins that we have done, Ya Allah. We are here, Ya Allah, presenting ourselves to you, Ya Allah, without any excuse. We ask you for forgiveness. Please forgive us, Ya Allah. Ya Arhamar Rahimeen, Ya Akramul Akrameen. Ya Allah, when a child becomes filthy, Ya Allah, the mother never throws the child away because she loves the baby so much. She cleans the baby, puts on new clothes on the baby, and hugs the baby. Ya Allah, you love us more than 70 mothers. Ya Allah, please do not reject us because of our filth in our hearts. Ya Allah, we beg you, Ya Allah, Ya Arhamar Rahimeen, that you clean our filthy hearts with khair and put on new clothes of taqwa, of sunnah, of sharia, of Quran on us. And Ya Allah, please look at us with one sight of love, Ya Arhamar Rahimeen. Ya Allah, it's only the matter of your one sight of love and our lives would change, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, मेरी एक नजर की बात है मेरी जिंदगी का सवाल. Allah, it will not decrease in your prayers, Ya Allah, Ayuta, Ya Arhamar Rahimeen, that you, if you grant us all the good of this dunya and the hereafter, Ya Allah, we beg you, Arhamar Rahimeen. Ya Allah, we are very much in need of all of your prayers, Ya Allah, of this dunya and the hereafter. Ya Allah, please save us from going to any other door, Ya Allah. Ya Ya Allah, all the people who have come here, Ya Allah, who have come here at your door, Ya Allah, please do not reject any of these people, Ya Arhamar Rahimeen. Ya Allah, open your doors of mercy, Ya Allah. Please open your doors of mercy, Ya Allah. Ya Arhamar Rahimeen. Ya Allah, when so many people, Ya Allah, they even go at the door of a worldly person, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, that person would even open their doors, Ya Allah, looking at so many people coming at his door, begging. Ya Allah, you are the Arhamar Rahimeen. Ya Allah, all of these young people who are here, Ya Allah, we give you wasta of their, Ya Allah, their youth, their young blood, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, there's so many young people, Ya Allah, it's a weekend night, they're at bars, drinking, Ya Allah, gambling, Ya Allah, doing all sort of filthy things, Ya Allah, that they could do. Ya Allah, these people with your tawfiq has come here, Ya Allah, we give you wasta of these people. Please open your doors of mercy. Ya Allah, save these people, Ya Rahman. Allah, save us, Ya Allah. Save our children, Ya Rahman. Ya Allah, save every single person who's going to come until the day of judgment. Ya Allah, Shaitan is after us, our nafs is after us, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, it whispers, it gives us all with those, Ya Allah, bad mashwaras, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, it's only your protection that we will be saved, Ya Rahman, that our children will be saved. Ya Allah, we have no power, absolutely, Ya Allah, no power. Ya Allah, that we can save ourselves. Please save us and our generations, Ya Rahman. Ya Allah, please accept all of us for the service of your deen. Allah, accept our generations for the service of your deen. Ya Allah, if we are not able to serve your deen, then what is the purpose of our life, Ya Allah? Ya Allah, we have totally dedicated with your tawfiq ourselves to serve your deen. Ya Allah, accept us, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, we know that we are not worthy to serve your deen. Ya Allah, we are like a black dot, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, on a big white paper. Ya Allah, please don't look at us, Ya Allah, look at your greatness. Ya Allah. Ya Allah, we have heard that you even take the service of your deen from sinners, Ya Allah. Please accept us sinners and to serve your deen, Ya Rahman. Ya Allah, all the people who have asked for dua, Ya Allah, please grant them whatever they are in need of. People who are sick, please give them perfect cure, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, people who are misguided, please guide them, Ya Allah. People who have any sort of, Ya Allah, Ya Allah, physical or spiritual illness, Ya Allah, cure every single one of us and every single one of them from their physical and spiritual sicknesses, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, give us a sound heart, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, give us the soundness of the heart. Ya Allah, remove all the bad akhlaq from all of us, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, we have become a burden on your creation, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, we have become a burden on our wives and our husbands and our children and our parents and our friends and our students. Ya Allah, please, Ya Rahman, we beg you, Ya Allah, that you improve our akhlaq, Ya Rahman. Ya Allah, when it's time to go back to you, we beg you, Ya Allah, that you are pleased with us and you give us tawfiq that we recite the kalima from our tongues and make it the last words before we go back. And you call us with those beautiful words of Ya ayyatuhan nafsul mutmainna irji'i ila rabbiki radiyatan mardiyya fadkhuli fi ibadi wadkhuli jannati. Ya Arhamar Rahimeen, Ya Akram al-Akrameen. Make our graves from the gardens of paradise. Ya Allah, make the questions of graves easy for us, Ya Allah. Ya Arhamar Rahimeen, make it spacious. Ya Allah, when it's time to be raised up in front of you, please, Ya Arhamar Rahimeen, Ya Allah, look at us with a smile. Give us our books in our right hand. Ya Rahman Rahimeen, give us the shade of your throne. Give us the blessed water from the blessed hands of your beloved Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Ya Allah, give us his intercession, Ya Allah. Give us his intercession, Ya Allah. Give us his intercession. Ya Allah, please save us from the time, Ya Allah, that we go to our Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam for intercession and he turns away his face away from us. Ya Allah, Ya Allah, what if he says that you didn't follow my sunnahs? You didn't respect my sunnahs. You didn't respect my deen. I cried all night for you. And this is what you did. Ya Allah, save us from that. Ya Allah, we all would be in need of his intercession on that day, Ya Allah. Please grant us his intercession, Ya Allah. And give us tawfiq to live a life, Ya Allah, that he is happy with us on the day of judgment. Ya Allah, let us all enter into paradise without reckoning, without questioning, Ya Allah, and give us a space in the blessed feet of your beloved Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب وصلى اللهم تعالى على خير خلقه سيدنا وحبيبنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين والحمد لله رب العالمين. الشكر.